Back on? Yes, sir. All right, welcome back from the break. Okay. Just so you know, for people watching this in the future, this is a crazy class I'm dealing with. That's why you may just see me start laughing. You can't see what they're doing out of view. It's a crazy class. It's a very good way. Very good stuff. Very good stuff. I feel at home. Okay. I want to talk to you about leaders being successful. And I want to tell you that people don't follow losers for long. They don't follow losers. They don't like working for losers. So as a leader, you need to be successful. Okay? And a lot of your credibility begins with personal success, but it ends with helping others achieve personal success. Okay? Your chief can speak with authority on this, as can I, with our agencies and who we attract. Okay? I can tell you that as you're attracting people to your agencies, 8s, 9s, and 10s do not come get in line for 3s and 4s. It does not work that way. So you need to be a successful leader, and you need to bring people with you so they can be successful. If you get to the top and you look around and you're by yourself, you did something wrong. You should be surrounded by people that you brought with you. And remember that success doesn't just happen, it's learned. That's something you got to concentrate on. It just doesn't happen. It's learned. I made reference to the micromanager a while ago. So the micromanager, as you know, is, if you've ever been micromanaging here, raise your hand. Did you like it? Did you like it? No, you didn't. A micromanager is despised for lacking the self-discipline to stay. You getting choked up over there? Just thinking about that bad experience. The lacking the self-discipline to stay out of situations that they have no business getting involved in. Let your people do their work, but they micromanage. So they're despised when they jump in the middle of stuff they should stay out of. The missing manager can be equally despised because he or she ain't never around when they're needed. They're not around to give advice or to help when needed. They're equally despised. So in leadership, you've got to find the balance of leave us alone, the balance of leave us alone and why did you leave us alone? And that's not always easy, but you got to find that balance, okay? Success as a leader, a lot of great things can get accomplished when you don't care who gets the credit. You actually want your people to get the credit, okay? You want to bring your people up. I get enough credit on stuff. I want my people to get recognized, okay? To be successful, good leaders have to know their jobs. You have to know your jobs. We police the way we've been trained. We don't police according to Facebook opinions of how police work should be done. There's plenty of that. We don't police like that. We don't lead like that. We lead the way we've been trained. We police how we've been trained. You work in the racket club, how you've been trained. Okay? And we've had many other departments here in the city of Pelham. It's how they're trained, not people's opinions. It's how they're trained. You need to know your people's KSAs. What is a KSA? Your people's KSA. Knowledge, skills, and abilities. You need to know what that is as a leader. Knowledge, skills, and abilities, your KSAs, okay? Know what your people's KSAs are. So another thing is good leaders develop good inner circles. Good inner circles. Your inner circle will make you or what? Break you. That's right. Make you or break you. It's critical. What happens if you surround yourself with idiots? You will become one. Thank you. You already know the answer to this. You'll become one. My inner circle, when I meet with my staff, sometimes I go with what they want to do, and I may not be totally for it. There's other times because I'm just going to go with what they want to do because that's what they want to do. It may not be exactly the way I want to do it, but I'm going to let them do it because I'm listening to I'm getting input from them. There are other times I'll get input from them and go, okay, I've heard your input. I appreciate your input, but I want to still do it my way of X, Y, Z. And because I may have a little bit more experience than you in this area. But either way, I expect the lieutenant to come back and tell his people about that idea just as if it was his idea or her idea. And so what you don't want to see is this, and if you see this from one of your lieutenants, they're wrong. But if you see a lieutenant come out and say, hey, listen up everybody, listen, y'all got to start this tomorrow. I don't like it. I don't think it's a great idea. I ain't really for it, but Chief wants us to do it this way. And so starting tomorrow at 8 o'clock, you got to do X, Y, Z. Is that cool? From a lieutenant? No, it's not. I promise you he wouldn't talk like that if his chief was sitting there. I promise you that. And that's not cool. And the employees are hearing this from me on this. That's not cool to be a leader like that. That's not being a leader. The chief listens to the advice and the input from the staff, and sometimes we go along with their advice. Sometimes we still want to do it X, Y, Z the way we want it done. Either way, we want that command staff officer should come and tell you as if it's his idea, as if he come up with that idea himself. Not anything short of that. Okay, communication, ma'am, I'm talking about, oh, she turned at me immediately. Communication, she perked up. She went, whoa. Communication is critical as a leader. Okay, so let me ask you this. You're my troop. I'm your boss. I'm your leader. I'm in my office typing on my laptop. You come in to say something very important to me, to you. It's very important to you. You're coming in to see me and I'm just typing. And you're talking to me and I go, really? Yeah. You don't say, wow, yeah, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, yeah, really? Yeah. What am I communicating to you? Nothing. What? I don't have any respect. I don't care. I don't care about what you have to say. To the level I won't even stop typing on my laptop. Or, we're bad about this now. That bad boy right there. So many people keep doing this while someone's talking to them. I've reached over and taken phones from people. Are you listening to me? Okay, so let me ask you this. How many, that went my sound, hold on. How many more times? You might come see me one more time to talk to me. If I do that to you again, are you going to come back? No, probably not. Most likely not. I'm not going to go talk to him. He don't even care about what I have to say. That's very heavy. You need to listen to that. And as a leader, you need to, okay, there's so many classes about communication. Now we have 5 generations in the workplace. We all have generation gaps between the different generations and all that. All that's important. But the most important thing about communication, step one, the most important thing there is about communication, step one, is that you as a leader, step one, actually care about what that person has to say. That's step one. That has to be step one. If you actually care, then you're going to turn and you're going to listen to what he or she has to say. Communication is critical. Good leaders communicate. But it begins with you actually caring about what they have to say. Everybody communicates, but very few connect. And that's important nowadays. I will tell you this. The more lines of communication that your agency sends out to the people, the more information that's communicated to the people, the less ammo or area you give the folks that like to talk rumors. And you're going to have folks talk rumors no matter what. You're going to have the rumor mill always. You can't do away with the rumor mill, but what you can do is give them very little bit to talk about because you're constantly communicating with your people. And you really shut that down to a level because you're constantly communicating with your people on what's going on. Our younger folks, I want to talk about that while we're here. Our younger folks, don't stifle their individuality or their creative thoughts. We have some very sharp people work for us. They're sharp younger folks, and you need to use their personalities. I want to cover that while we're there on the younger folks. Good leaders listen and they communicate. They have the ability to communicate and connect with family, marriage, your children, friends, the workplace, marketplace, the community. Communication is critical. But it begins with you actually caring about what your people have to say. Leadership is enacted through communication, and your words have power. One time I called an employee in, he was doing something he wasn't supposed to do. I got on to him about it, said, don't do that again. He said, yes, sir. He left. And so like a month later, I hear he did it again. I called him back in. I said, what did you not understand what we talked about? Don't do that again. Yes, sir. And it was pretty serious, something he shouldn't have been doing. And he got in trouble over it, and I told him not to do it again. Well, guess what happens? Not even a month later, I get told he did it again. And when I heard that, I looked at the lieutenant and I said, he gonna learn today. He gonna learn today. Now, you are remembered by your words. Sometimes you get quoted on stuff you don't really want to be remembered by. You regret saying that, but you're remembered by words you say. Your words have power. That one there, that was years ago. And so I hear officers down the hallway don't even know I'm listening. They may be talking about something and you hear what I'm saying. You're going to learn today. And I actually like that quote. I actually like that. That's kind of a cool quote that I did. I like that. But you're remembered by what you say. So one day, y'all have a canine corps here. We have similar police departments. We have a canine corps at Foley. We have 4 canine. One day, and a little side story on this, one day the Carlos Lizarraga, our canine supervisor, called me, and he's headed to Foley after purchasing a dog up north somewhere up here. And he called me. He said, Chief, we got a problem. And I was messing with him. I said, we just got your dog. You're not even home with him. How can we have a problem already? I was messing with him a little bit. He said, we got a problem. I said, what can the problem be? How can you already have a problem? We can't have a problem. You just picked the dog up. You're not even 5 miles with him. I know, but I'm calling you. We got a problem. I said, what's the problem, Carlos? He said, they named this dog, and this dog goes by his name. They named this dog Satan. I said, excuse me, did you just say Satan like the devil? Yes, we got a problem. I said, hold on. They named this dog Satan like Lucifer? Satan? Make sure I'm hearing you right. Yes, sir, we got a problem. I said, Carlos, we got a problem. We can't release a dog to go bite somebody. Hey, Satan, go get him. That ain't going to work. It ain't going to work in this community. It ain't going to work in my community. That's a problem. Satan, y'all named the dog Satan. What's wrong with y'all? Okay, so I'm an Auburn fan. Alabama's like the devil to us. And so I got a dog named Satan. And when you rename a dog, it's got to be close. So what do you think we renamed that dog? Brilliant minds think alike. We renamed that dog on the way home Saban. And that worked. I don't know why. That's a little side story. The main thing I want to tell you is this. One day, so we have all these canine handlers. Then we're training. And they had their dogs out and we're training with them. And see, previously as an Air Force cop, I used to put on that canine wrap and take off running. And they'd release their dog and I'd take off running and the dog would run up and you put your arm down, he'll bite you and you keep running with it. Until you stop and they call the dog off of you, hopefully. That's kind of fun unless they bite through. That kind of hurts. And I've done that a few times. So as a police chief, among all these canine guys training from multiple agencies, there's a bunch of them out there, I put on the wrap. I took off running as a chief, Foley. He let his dog out after me. That dog's coming. Here we come. I'm running. Here that dog's coming. He's getting closer. And I don't know why I did this. I'd never done it before. I don't know why I did this. I never did it like this before. But for some reason, I was running and I stopped and I went stationary and I held my arm up. I don't know why I did that. And so I got a 150-pound dog running full speed at me. You're starting to grin. You know where this is going. Had a 150-pound dog running at me full speed. Boom, through the air. Here he come, through the air at me. Right before that 150-pound dog at full speed in the air hit me, that canine handler yelled out in front of everybody, "You gonna learn today!" That dog took me out, tumbled me. Your words have power. You are remembered by what you say. Speak the truth when you talk to people. Ignorance is bliss, okay? Listening versus talking. I have never learned while I was talking. Your mama may have raised you up telling you have what? 2 and 1 mouth. You have 2 ears and 1 mouth. You should do more listening, twice as amount of listening as you do talking. But as you walk slowly through the crowd, like this says, your people, you walk slowly among the people in the crowd and you listen to them. And as you listen, then you learn. And then and only then do you lead. That's what you do. Okay. Good leaders communicate. And good leaders communicate vision. Okay. Good leaders communicate vision. So, one day, I had a Foley police officer running radar, stationary radar. Foley police officer running stationary radar. This rather large lady pulls up next to him and says, "Excuse me, officer, but how can I get to 182? He looks at her and says, "Nutrisystem." What?
She probably went, "Oh, hell no."
What? Y'all are laughing. Funny now, not so funny back then. Vision. He should have had the vision to know that that's going to generate a what? A citizen complaint, okay? Citizen complaint. But good leaders communicate vision, all joking aside. Staff meetings are not communication. Open door policies are not communication. One-on-one is communication. Do what's right and be confident but not arrogant, please. And you need to display good character. I just had a friend of mine earlier today. He thought he was going to get promoted. He thought he had it in the bag. And I got a text from his wife. He did not get it, the promotion he was seeking. And I texted him and I said, "Hey man, let me tell you this. And I know you're going to do this anyway, but you didn't get something you were going after, and there's going to be a lot of people watching you. What are they mainly watching for on this guy who did not get promoted when everybody knew he wanted to be promoted? What are they watching for? Huh? His behavior. Your character is observed during good times, but your character is observed especially during bad times. I had to pull a sergeant in one time, or he had a little hissy fit when he didn't make lieutenant the first go round. And I had to call him in and say, number one, who you mad at? And number two, look at the example that you're setting. People are watching you in your hissy fit. People are watching you. Your character is under display right now, especially during rough times. That's when your people pay attention to the character that you have or not. If you've made mistakes in the past, own it, owe up to it, get it behind you, and start climbing that ladder of success again. Good leaders don't hoard power. A leader that will hoard power that's an insecure leader. And you don't need to be an insecure leader. Actually, secure leaders will release power to their people. And it's a funny thing because you release it to your people and it comes back to you. Because you released it to your people and it comes back to you. That's a secure leader. You need to move from me to we. When you get promoted, there's a lot of me. Me. But you need to move that to a we. We go from me to we as a team. We need to move towards teamwork. And make sure you get this image, please. This image here is important. This is an important image to me. I've always held on to it, either personally or professionally. There was a time when I had an image of what I thought Foley would be, and we held on to that image until we became that image. So you hold on to the image you want to create until you become that image. But you do it in a humble way. When you reach that image, you be humble about it. And you be appreciative of where the Lord has brought you with me personally. But where you came from and where you are now. Be humble about it, not arrogant. Winston Churchill said, history will be kind to me for I intend to write it. And he did. He literally wrote his own history. Y'all need to read up on him if you've never read up on a leader like that. He's a good leader and a good one to read up on. Now, as a personal thing I want to share with you, all these things we've talked about as far as being a good leader, all that's great, all that's fine. Say you're a good leader, great leader, but you gave your family the leftovers. Is that how you want to be in life? You're a great leader here at the police department or the city of Pelham, but your family got the leftovers? No. Have it balanced. Keep it balanced. Do your best to keep that balance. There'll be times you can't help it, but you make up for that with your family. So this is what we've talked about so far as we come to a close. Good leaders learn to lead people the right way. Good leaders bring up and develop their people. They deal with problem employees. We've talked a lot about that. They truly care about their people. They become successful and they develop good inner circles. And good leaders listen and communicate and they do what's right. And this man knows who John Wayne is, the Duke. And if you don't believe any of that, listen to what the Duke says. Don't do something stupid, okay? That's from John Wayne himself. Don't do something stupid. Don't get out there and do stupid stuff. Be a good leader. In closing, good leaders are real leaders with real success. They become persons of influence. They are the real deal. And here's the deal. You can imagine, y'all been with me for a few hours now. I try to be a fun guy. Leaders can be fun. You can be a fun leader, but you don't have to be. You can't be someone's buddy, not at work. So be a fun leader, but be the real deal leader. Real leaders are remembered because they impacted lives. And as you transform from a manager to a better leader, don't ever forget where you came from and bring others with you. So you need to know the way, show the way, and go the way. The bottom line in leadership isn't how far we advance ourselves, but how far we advance other people. At Foley PD, we had signs up like this that says, we are who we are because of each and every one of you. You are the best thing about this department. And your chief and I have had discussions about this, and that's how he feels about you. And I'm not saying that just because he's sitting in here. I'm saying that because that's how he feels. He and I have talked about this. The best thing about this agency is you. We have similar thoughts on leadership and our people. The greatness begins with serving others. It does not begin with being served. As a leader, as a leader, you can either add to people's lives or you can subtract from people's lives. You need to be the kind of leader that adds to people's lives. Leaders touch a heart before they ask for a hand. So connect with your people. This is one of my favorite pictures, if you can put that on there, because this shows my new corporals 13 years ago. Those were all brand new spanking corporals. They are now sergeants and lieutenants. That one closest to you on this picture is now a deputy chief. He was a corporal then. He's a deputy chief now. Am I proud of that? Yeah, I am. Am I proud that I as a leader brought those people with me as we moved up? Yes. That's what I'm supposed to do as a leader. That's what you're supposed to do as a leader. Don't end up like this guy. Sir, who is this?
Buddy. I don't remember his name, but I know.
He said Buddy. That's close. It will start it with a B. We're going to get you there. Buford T. Justice. I know, brother, we know you're not a movie guy. We know you're not a movie guy. No. Let me say this. Remember this, supervisors who want to be everyone's buddy, they are not effective in the long run. They're not remembered. And even if they are faintly remembered, they're not respected. And in this shot here, this shows you that, and they are soon forgotten. Because I'm going to be honest with you, guys that want to be my buddy back when I was a younger officer, I don't remember them I don't remember their names really. The ones I remember, and the chief same way, and some of y'all, are those that impacted me, and they were the real deal with me. They were a real deal leader, okay? So also remember this. Your significance is not your job. Your job was never meant to love you back. Set your priorities with your family and keep a balanced life. Don't be at work all the time. You have to be, we're at work a lot, but keep your priorities with your family straight. Get yourself some hobbies and actually do them. This is some pictures of me on a motorcycle with my chick, my wife. Hunting, I started hunting for the first time at 56. Riding motorcycles, all that kind of stuff. So get you some hobbies and keep them. Me personally, I engage life. I try to bring fun with me. And I've been kicked down in life, but I'm never down. I'm either up or I'm getting back up. I don't stay down. That's just with me personally. And I want to tell you, as you go about life, off duty and at work, don't forget to have a little fun. Don't end up like this. Who is that, sir? You can't sit Buford. Come on, man, I'm giving up on you. Buford. I'm going to write that down for you live. I'm going to give it to you. And let this here, never forget where you came from. One final word from me is, if you want to be a leader who's running a popularity contest, please exit leadership. Because leadership is not a popularity contest. If that's why you're going to be a leader, please exit our leadership program. Get out of it, because we don't need any more of that. And one final word from a real deal leader. Now, this pains me as an Auburn fan, but I can't help but put this up. And if you would show the screen on this. One final word from a real deal leader that everyone will recognize. If you want to make everyone happy, don't be a leader, sell ice cream. And that's from Nick Saban, the man himself. Okay?